Today we're looking at these Pachmeyer grip extenders. It says grip extender for XL Plus capacity G26, 27, 33, 39. Factory 10 round mag. This is a Magpul PMag 12. Holds 12 rounds in the G26. And then this is a Pachmeyer grip extender like I just showed you, +3 for the G26. You'll notice here the profile is a little bit different than the PMag 12. On this one, getting the +3 in here it works, but it's very hard to seat it when the slide is closed. So just for comparison, here's the PMag. That's how my pinky sits. This stock 10 round, very difficult. I mean, I can get 15% of my pinky on there. And then the Pachmeyer, it's a full pinky on there, and it's got this little lip here. For concealed, this little lip does stick out more than the PMag 12. And the other noticeable difference between the two is the texture on the Pachmeyer is more similar to, this is a Gen 3 with the finger grooves, but this stippling, whatever, is more similar to the factory than the PMag, which is smooth. So for those of you that are real sticklers on how things look, this Pachmeyer is going to work out better for you, although it's not a critical difference, I don't think, by any measure. One of the only downsides to Glocks, there's a few, but one of them is it can be hard to seat mags that are fully topped off when the slide is closed. So you can load up, well, we'll go through it together, but you can load up and just use the mags when the slide is locked open. Instructions included in here, pretty basic. I tried to find a video, so I couldn't really find anything that great on these, but we'll go through it together. So there is a Glock magazine disassembly tool, and that can certainly help. What you're really trying to do is, there's a spring in here that's pushing against this base plate that's got a notch. So you're trying to push this plate down far enough to be able to slide this base plate off. Now, in most pistols, once you put pressure on this spring base plate, you're going to be able to slide this off. Now, the thing that the Glock has is there's a, kind of hard to see here, there's a little divot, there's a piece of plastic, Tupperware, whatever you want to call it, that's sticking out. So that's why they say to squeeze the base plate. You can use a screwdriver, Phillips. This is like a carpet tool, so squeeze in, try to get it straight on. If you create too much of an angle, you can flip around this follower, and I just did that. Just push in the sides, and then you can use the leverage of your tool to pop it forward. See if I can get it a little bit more. Should come now pretty easily. So just hold the spring with your finger. You'll see I totally got this base plate mixed up in there. So then it just comes out, and what you're fighting against when you're pushing in the sides are these little locking tabs. Also a way to open them to clean them out. So this Pachmeyer, what it's got its own spring cup, and then this little nipple here sits on the bottom. There's a groove, sits on the bottom there, and there's this little groove here. So these are made by Lyman. That's what it says here, division of Lyman. Lyman generally makes excellent products. So what you're going to do is get this little sleeve on, push it in with your thumb, then slide this over, and you got to get over these locking tabs, so you can squeeze a little bit and then it should just pop into place. And make sure that nipple is seated right there. Give it a little test. So you're not going to use the factory spring plate, and you're not going to use this base plate. So there's 10. By the way, if you don't have one of these, I recommend them. If you have a lot of mags you have to load. This is the mag Lula up your Lula. And it's universal up to 45 ACP. That's 12. And I started to notice that on my other one, right at 12, I got a little bit of mushrooming. You can see that there. Using a lot of force. And I got 13 in there. And I don't know if you can see that, but that's, you know, a 30-second more ballooned than it was before. So it'll work, it'll hold 13, but the problem is when I was trying to seat this with 13 and the other one, it was really marring the brass. And what it can hit your ejector is this little pin that sticks out here. So I mean, it's probably okay, but the other thing it hits is the that little metal channel up in there. So 13 rounds just like this, no problem. You know, you can drop the slide and then it'll load that, and then you'll have one in the chamber. So that's fine for that use, but yeah, it takes a lot of force. I mean, you would never be able to really reload like that in the field. And I could get it to seat, but then I can't really get the slide to function. So yeah, it holds 13, but it's not a practical 13. I'll show you with 12. So with 12, no problem. There you go. So I like that. I mean, it's a nice purchase that you get with this extra lip. For concealed, I mean, that's not a big deal versus the Magpul. But the good thing about these is if you have 10 round mags, you can extend them. You don't need to buy additional high cap mags. So pretty cool thing. They're not that bad. I think they're $10 for 2 of them. Got some more of these we'll be testing out. Stay tuned. Please like and subscribe.